So greetings from the Carriage Factory. Today I am here with Barbara Haynes and Curtis Haynes, husband and wife, art team extraordinaire. And so we're just going to have a casual conversation about their journey with their art. And so actually I think I've known you since 2010, and my first glimpse of your artwork was more on the craft side, kind of these little, were they like wire metal pins with crazy little women with fuzzy hair?
About that. That's
and so
wild hair pins.
Yeah, so we'll start with Barbara, because if I'm right, you started in the art and then dragged Curtis along with you a little bit, huh?
I did.
All right, so let's hear about it.
I signed him up for an art class one summer because they needed more people to fill the class. So I called him up and I said, guess what? I just signed you up for a painting class, and there was total silence on his end of the phone. And then he's like, I can't even draw a stick. And I'm like, well, it's abstract, so you don't have to be able to draw anything. So that's what got me started.
That's a special kind of honey-to-do list right there.
Yeah.
Come join me in an art class.
Right.
But, and then I think that next spring break, we went out to New Mexico, and I was taking a workshop out there. And he didn't enroll in the workshop, but once he saw what we were doing, the next time we went out there, he enrolled in the workshop with me.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So you both work in acrylic, but very different use of the medium. So I know you have some pieces that you're working on. If you guys want to share a little bit about your style, your medium, your process, we'd love to hear.
Well, I like to work more abstractly. I really enjoy being open to the surprises that happen on your canvas when you're working abstractly and you're going through a mark making process. I really like how sometimes the painting through a more abstract process is revealed to you rather than, working more realistically where, you're kind of going through a process of drawing and shading. I just like a little bit more creativity and spontaneity.
So do you just start with colors? I mean, do you have some kind of concept in mind, or do you just, for better lack of a way to say it, do you just let the medium speak to you?
Yeah, a lot of times I will start with certain colors, and I kind of gravitate towards certain colors. And so I'll start with just picking out a few colors. Sometimes I will pick out or have a concept or a layout in mind, but that's only just to get me started, because as I said, I like to kind of let the painting reveal itself and react to what's happening on the canvas.
So is there a specific thing that inspires you, or an artist that inspires you?
Well, I think traditionally have been inspired just by landscape, the nature. My grandmothers were seamstresses, quilters, that sort of thing. I like to create use a lot of pattern in my paintings, and I think that's just reminiscent of working with fabric. Because I have a fashion design degree from K State, so
Okay.
I've always had a love of fabric, and so I think that shows up a little bit too in my work. Um,
So, and you are an educator full-time right now, but getting ready to retire. So you're gonna hit that studio hard, aren't you?
Well, I'm gonna try. That would be nice. I'm looking forward to having more time to devote to painting and promoting my work, getting it out there, maybe working a little bit more on my website.
Gotcha. Which is
And
a
all
lot of work.
the social media stuff that you don't have time for now.
I gotcha. And Curtis, you work full-time also?
Yes,
And what's your background?
as far as work.
Any of it?
Well, I'll just start. at the
We know
beginning.
how you got pulled into art,
Yeah.
but
So, I grew up in Wichita, and I left when I was 18 and lived in Germany for several years. And I really love the architecture, the artwork, the history, the historic buildings, everything like that. So, visited a lot of museums and everything. I always kind of liked artwork. Never really tried to make anything. Of course, growing up as a kid, you're always drawing something, And I've always been a mechanic. And so when I came back here in Wichita and met Barbara on a blind date of all things,
oh my.
went from there. And like she said, she signed me up for an art class, and then we started going to New Mexico, Taos, and Santa Fe, visiting art galleries. And I fell in love with plexiglass artwork. And so with a couple of workshops that we took in Santa Fe, the artists taught us how to do some plexiglass work. And it's kind of grown from there. I liked German artist Gerhard Richter. And so at first I was doing some of his style. And my art teacher in Wichita told me, okay, you're comfortable with that. Now try something out of your comfort zone. And so my technique has evolved and changed. And a lot of my pieces are done, when you buy the plexiglass, when it's this thick, it has protective paper on both sides. And so I got frustrated with always smearing, getting paint on the viewing side or scratching it or something, so I started leaving the paper on the viewing side and just painting on the back side. This is probably a better example on the back side. That's what I see as I work. I'm guessing the whole time what's happening to the color in front. How's it going to change by the next color I apply on the back? And then when I'm finished or nearly finished, I'll turn it over and peel the paper off. In this piece, I just have a couple more areas that I want to change. And then we'll decide on how to mount it. That was something different that I tried, and it worked. So,
Really fun. And so it was a class that brought you to using the plexiglass?
yes, I really, like I said, I really loved the artwork I saw in Taos and Santa Fe that was on plexiglass. And spoke to a couple of artists there that used that medium. And with the workshop that I took in Santa Fe, I really just kind of fell in love with the plexiglass. And of course, I've done other things, clayboard or canvas or whatever, but this is really what I prefer is plexiglass. I like how the colors change if you shine a bright light on it. You'll see more features and more mediums. I'll use the glass bead gel, or I'm trying to say, just
Kind of glittery.
a little bit of glitter. Not gonna call it glitter, but
Just
iridescent mediums. And sometimes I'll use color shift paint. Sometimes I'll try to make the color shift myself, depending on the viewing angle and the light. You'll see different colors, or you'll see different features.
It's amazing, and you guys know I love texture. And both of your pieces are just full of it. And it is interesting, I can feel and see the texture and the pattern in yours. And then also in yours, even though it's behind that plexi, there's all kinds of texture in there. From the glitter to the smooth, like this gold, almost looks like a gold foil. So, what's the largest work that you've done on the plexi? Most of the pieces I've seen have been fairly small.
Yeah, and so far 28 by 32 is a piece that is in a collector's home in Mays. And she had me go out there and install it for her. It just kind of floats on the wall, there's no
That's a
frame
little
for it.
intense to work that big when you don't really quite know what's
Yeah.
going on the other side.
Yeah, I did change the edges of it after I peeled the paper off and just left them clear. But what's nice about it, it kind of casts its own frame from the shadows. So I'm planning on doing larger works. I want to do some small works also, even smaller than this, that people can just, easy pick up, take with them. And then I'm preparing for a solo exhibit for next summer. And so I want some larger pieces, some taller pieces. I want to do some triptych pieces, maybe 5 or 6 feet tall if I can, things like that. Of course, it takes a lot of time for me to finish one
I
piece.
think you guys need to have an exhibit together.
Yeah, that would be good.
Let's see how we can make that happen.
Sure.
Sounds good.
So how long have you been with us here at the Carriage Factory?
Did you start in 2010 here? When
Was it?
I don't know.
Well, I came in 2013.
Okay,
Okay,
so,
so it was after that.
Yeah, it probably was that
yeah,
year.
Okay.
yeah, maybe it was.
I think I gave you a shout via Kristen and
Yeah.
it kind of went from there.
Right.
So what do you guys enjoy about it being at the Carriage Factory?
Oh, well, this is a little gem of gallery, I
Yeah,
think.
it is.
It has a nice variety of Kansas artists, and I think it has good support from the community, and it's just a great place to stop in and see some great artwork.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Is there anything else you want to share about your journey with your art?
Well, since we started, we both have artwork in 3 different galleries at the moment, so.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Laying the foundation
Yeah,
for when you
yeah.
guys hit that
Never would
retirement.
have thought
Yeah.
that, it would have grown like it has, and hopefully with her retirement things, that we can focus more on the art and broaden the artwork that we have out there.
Well, your art gives so much to us. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. What do you feel like art's given to you?
I think it's just, for me personally, it's just a great way to relax and have, throughout my working career, this has been like therapy or just meditation, a way to relax and, get my mind off of other things. And
I recently explained to someone who asked me a similar question, and so if you know what it feels like to go watch a movie or read a good book where you just kind of engross yourself, you forget about the world and everything else, it's kind of what the artwork, creating art does. You're just focused on what you're doing, and you see something happen, you're creating something that didn't exist before, and it's your own unique creation, but it takes your mind off of other things going on in life too, so. It's a good,
Sometimes you just need that space to get
yeah,
rid
it's a
of
good
that.
escape, it's a good therapy.
absolutely.
Well, I know on behalf of the gallery, we really appreciate your membership. The gallery could not thrive and be accessible to the community without fantastic people like you. So I appreciate you coming and having a cup of coffee with me and talking about your artwork. And I look forward to what you do in the future.
Yeah, we appreciate everything the gallery's done, and actually, probably both of our very first pieces that sold were here at the gallery.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
mine was
yeah.
a larger plexiglass piece that hung in right by the front window, and I came by one day and took a photo of it through the window, and then I was told it sold, so.
Well, that
Fantastic.
that little piece that you sold a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
we went to Colorado. So.
Yeah,
cool.
I was
You
happy
just
it sold.
never know where your art's
Awesome.
gonna go.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
That's true. I know. It's amazing. It's been so much fun to have our artwork here and just, watching it go out and
Yeah.
go to people's homes.
So we have collectors in Manhattan, Kansas City, Albuquerque. So it's gradually growing, so.
That's amazing. Well, congratulations to both of you. And
Thank
thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, thank you.
I guess that's a wrap for us.
Come by and check it out.